Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the Ace Michaels Show. Ace Michaels coming to you live and still in living color. Today, my guest on the show is Louis Kim. Louis Kim comes to us from, I don't know yet, but we're going to find out. But I do know this about him. He is a music artist. He's not just an artist, he's a music artist. So welcome to the show for the first time, my guy, Mr. Louis Kim. Welcome to the Ace Michaels Show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate being here.
It's my pleasure, buddy. So tell me, you are several things. You're a singer, songwriter, you're a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's kind of a rapper now.
Everybody, yeah.
Like everybody's
It's
a
just
rapper.
like you just sing, you just say your lyrics fast, and now you're rapping.
Yeah, now you're rapping, and even if you can just mumble your lyrics and just mumble your lyrics and just mumble your lyrics, then I'm a rapper because I mumble my lyrics. Yes, I mumble my lyrics. Anyway, by the way, you guys, mumble my lyrics, not to be copyright. Okay, we have to do the Louis. We have to do the legal, because there's people who listen to the show that are writers, and they'll be like, oh my God. Mumble my lyrics. That's tight. Mumble my lyrics. No, don't even start it. You can put that pen down. You're not going to use mumble my lyrics.
Yeah, anyway. They try to rip you.
So
Your
Louis,
genius, the brilliance.
There's exactly these pearls. Yeah. These pearls of genius. I'm not giving away for free. That's for sure. So Louis, tell us about your story. So you are singer, songwriter, rapper, music artist.
Yep. So I started in New Jersey.
Sorry.
I just met your engineer, and he came from like the same town that I went to college.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
and
pretty
you
cool.
showed up anyway. That's good.
Yeah.
That's encouraging. Good.
I mean, there's some talent over there, so I'm not surprised really.
Yeah. And so now you're in Vegas, because today we're in Vegas. Are you visiting Vegas, or you live in Vegas?
No, I live in Vegas. I've been kind of back and forth, but for the past year and a half, I've been living over here. So I first started in a content creator house that was like just starting up. It was like Asian creatives. That was like the whole idea.
Content creator?
Yeah.
Were you creating content?
I mean, more like TikTok, YouTube,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Sure, it was TikTok. It was ticking and talking, all right.
We had some people in the house who were, doing that kind of content.
Wow.
But not everybody.
That's a whole nother. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to put a pin in that, because we are going to talk about content creator is a whole new. What I don't even know. It's not even an occupation. It's like a whole new buzzword in our society now.
Yeah, it's a general umbrella, and I just say it because it's the easiest thing to say. I want to say I come here, I make music. TikTok, whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I have an erection, so I make money with that too. You never know. You never know with me how I'm gonna get paid. I just be getting paid up in this mud.
If you get paid with that, that's a good life.
So here's Louis coming from where city did you come from again?
Like West New York.
West New York.
That's in New Jersey though.
Okay, so you come from Bethesda or whatever that place is called? Like, what's the place called that you come from?
What do you mean, what place?
Like, what's the name of the city?
I would say like Fort Lee is the closest.
Fort Lee.
But like my hometown is called Norwood.
Norwood.
Yeah.
Those both sound like some racist ass places to come from. I'm sorry, but they don't sound like they encourage like everybody being equal there. If you're from Norwood, that doesn't sound right.
Norwood is pretty suburban there, and Fort Lee, I mean that's where like George Washington, he like invaded New York on Christmas Day.
No, sir.
He crossed the river.
Nope.
That's for our freedom. That's for the
Let me tell you
that's not
something.
for the slaves.
As
that's
a
for freedom.
colored man, I can't be in that place. I can tell you right now, that's not for me. For anything, no, sir. Nope.
There's a lot of Koreans over there. I'm Korean, so there's a lot of Koreans. over there.
You okay?
It's like 40-50% Korean.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that might work.
Yeah.
I could see that working.
I think our mayor is like the only Korean mayor.
He's like Mayor Lee.
Yeah, something like that. You can assume that you're like 30% like chance of being right with
right.
that.
He'd have to be like Mayor Lee, and I think what's the other famous Korean last name is like
Kim.
Kim, yeah.
That's my last name.
He could be Kim Lee.
Kim Lee.
I've met Kim Lees before too.
That's a combo.
That's
a two-piece right there. I haven't heard of that, but yeah.
So you're Korean. Okay,
Yeah.
now let me just make sense of this. And what are you doing in Fort Lee as a Korean? Shouldn't you be in like Korea? Like what brought you to America? You born in America, right?
I was born in America.
So you're American.
I am American.
You're American.
American.
Okay, thank God, because We can unload the weapons now. He's American. Okay, so he's an American citizen.
Yes, sir.
And you happen to be in Fort Lee, Pennsylvania?
That's New Jersey.
New Jersey, Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
what it is?
Yeah.
Fort Lee just sounds so backwards. It sounds like you just went back in time to 1950s.
I mean, that's what it was named after.
Right.
One of the forts that they had the Civil War in.
No, they need to rename that. To
It's great. It's right across from New York, like the George Washington Bridge.
They need to call that place Barack Obama town. They need to rename it to like Barack Obama something. I'll come up with something. They need to call it like
You can think on that one.
Yeah, like I don't like that Fort Lee. The Fort Lee gives me like I literally got a little chill up my spine when you said it. I was kind of like, you know how you get that little I don't like it. But it does sound like you had a good time there. Is that where you learned music?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the hometown area. I was actually born in California.
Now we're talking. Okay,
Yeah.
good. That makes way more sense.
And then I moved over to New Jersey when I was like a young child, and then that's pretty much where I've been until I came to Vegas.
Why'd you go? Because your parents had some job there or something?
Yeah, some family.
Parents be tripping. Parents be like, yo, I got a job in New Jersey, so we're all going to New Jersey.
Word.
It's like, wait a minute. That's your problem. Why don't you just send me some money and rent me an apartment, dog? I could chill right here in Malibu. I don't need to go to Fort whatever.
Malibu's pretty nice, but
exactly.
New Jersey ain't bad either. Yeah, it's like half Korean people, so I feel like
I ain't mad at that.
There's good food over there. Food
I agree. You got some hella kimchi, I bet.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
The KFC, Korean fried chicken.
Yep, some beautiful, smart women. I get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
True.
So, were you in California like immersed in the scene, or were you too young to be
I
into
was too young.
surfing and smoking weed and hanging out?
I left there when I was like 10.
But that's not too young. You could have been
Surfing
you
and smoking weed.
Yeah,
at
I mean,
night.
it's California, man.
That's true.
It could happen.
Nah. We were on some extra suburban
Oh
shit
my gosh,
in California.
yes.
So
Yeah, so you got an education. You went to a good school. Blah blah blah. Yeah,
decent. But I really started the music stuff. I mean, I've been playing piano, like saxophone, like jazz bands when I was in high school.
You're
like
an
middle
old school
school.
musician then.
A little bit.
You actually play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in college, that's when I really got into singing, cause in high school I was just doing all the instruments. I was like beatboxing when we were in marching band. We'd have like little rap battles and stuff, and I'd beatbox.
That's so funny.
Like a little beat, and then
hold on. That all that copyright. Yeah, because them fools would take your beat right off of there. They'd be like, "Oh, that's good. We got that right there." These fools will take a beat off of YouTube. You know that, right?
Shoot, if they credit me,
they will take a beat off of YouTube. Like, why would you take a beat off of YouTube and think you just made a record? They'd be like, yo, dog, I got me a mixtape full of beats from YouTube. It's like, come on, dog.
Dude.
You make your own beat. How unoriginal can you be? That's like, can you imagine Steven Spielberg coming in and he's like, yo, I got this movie idea. We're going to shoot this movie. It's not my idea. I got it off of YouTube. But we're going to shoot this movie anyway. Like, that's crazy. Like, we live in a world where just stealing people's intellectual property is just like no big deal anymore.
I mean, you could pay the people that make the beats on YouTube.
I'll never do that. No, we don't.
I mean, I say the collective is always going to be greater than the individual. So if that's how you get started, I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting philosophy.
That's how I got started. You're just listening to beats on YouTube. I started with my artist career by making beats. So I started with just production, and my beats, even now, like they're kind of mid. I can be honest about that. Where like sometimes they can hit where it's like 1 out of 10, but it's like I need to make 10 beats to get one that I actually want to use, and that takes a lot of time. And for me as an artist, it's like I can deal with making the lyrics and the melodies and mixing the vocals, or I can make 10 beats. There's like a lot of stuff to do with it. It's hard to be a one-man team.
But it's no, I agree with that. But it's good that you are an actual musician. Like there's so many. Like, I'm a music producer.
Yeah.
So I meet people. Every day.
Yeah.
That say they're music artists, but they come in. They don't play anything. They don't write anything. They don't have any real source to draw from.
Yeah, that's
I
hard.
think it's great that you actually learned to play instruments because that's what it's all about, isn't it?
That is, yeah. It's, it's you getting that kind of flow. You're just the ability to practice and understand like a little bit of theory, like just read sheet music. It just helps you be more connected to other musicians instead of just being in your own niche of like, oh, I only make melodies. And it's like, okay, well, can you like join a band then? It's like, well,
right.
Not really.
Now, let me ask you something. I usually ask a female music artist that come on the show, I ask this question, but I'm going to ask you, do you ever feel like when you hear songs like WAP or Throat Baby, you hear these songs that are popular songs, but they really haven't done a lot of creative writing. They're just talking about sexual experiences, or they're talking about going to the club and getting crunk and meeting girls with big booties.
Yeah.
Do you, as a music artist, do you ever say, that's kind of a shortcut, guys? I mean, come on, come with something a little harder. Or on the other hand, this is a double-edged question. Do you ever feel like you should change what you're doing and do more booty-rific type of music in order to make it?
That's a good question. I would say that we said booty-rific?
Well, we can use that word too. Booty-rific. Okay, that's 2 callbacks. I can't do it a third time. I did it a third time. I can't do it a fourth time. Anyway, yeah, but do you ever feel like, oh man, is that what people are doing now? They're talking about, this thing. Maybe I need to do more of that. If I really want to grab the attention of a record label, maybe I need to do that. Or do you feel the quite opposite way where you're like, oh man, that's such a sellout thing to do. I never would do that.
I'm pretty split on this. Like, I would do both, honestly, because for me as an artist, I can't say that I've found my sound. I can't say that I've found my niche. That like I experiment a lot with different genres. Like we're talking earlier about like, oh, what do you do? Do you sing? Do you rap? I feel like I want to do all of that stuff. And for me, part of rapping or like part of the culture is, traditionally like dance or like house music. The lyrics are not very thought provoking. It's like, let's get down and dirty. Let's just jump up and down. Let's lick each other in strange places. It's not like it's music to help you get in the vibe of things, and I appreciate that. It's like an ancestral thing. You're just hitting a drum and you're moving, and I don't know. You're chanting something. I think that's like the modern day version of those kinds of things where it's just like, you kind of just turn your brain off and just have a good time. So I don't think there's anything like wrong with that. If you're more intellectual, I say in air quotes, it's like, sure, that stuff will not be as appealing to you, but you can't deny just like that natural feeling of like, if you're really feeling yourself, you put those kinds of songs on, it's like, I just feel good. And it's like, what's wrong about that? But at the same time, it's like, if you're really lost in your life and you're introspecting and you're confused and you want some guidance, you want to be in someone else's shoes, you can listen to someone who really has been through something and understands what it's like. And so there's like two sides of the same coin. I don't know what the phrase is.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the phrase. But yeah. If it's not, it's going to be now. That's the new phrase. So as a Korean man, and I'll never be a Korean man, that's why I'm asking this question. Yeah. Do you get inspiration like from Psy, for example? Not many performers have gotten over 1 billion views. So he's one who's made it that big. Do you get inspired by that?
Yeah, it's very inspiring. I can't say that it's the kind of music that I'm gonna make anytime soon, but to see someone of my heritage to be blowing up like that, even just like the Korean culture wave that's been happening in the last like 10 years.
Or what about the K-pop groups?
Yeah, K-pop groups. It's more beneficial for me because now when I go out and street perform, it's like, oh, a tall Korean dude, like let me give this guy a tip.
Yeah.
One of my sponsors when I first came here into the content house, he's a little bit older. He's in his like mid-30s, and he tried the whole music thing out in his 20s, and he felt like he couldn't make it. and part of that for him was like, there are no Koreans doing this. I'm so alone.
It's so hard, yeah.
And it's just, you don't fit the mold at all. That's, a lot of people in like the acting scene would resonate with them a lot. It was just the representation
Absolutely.
For Korean or like Asian people is just not there.
Well, and I mean, I'm sure it's no secret that in American culture, the most famous Korean was Bruce Lee for years, and we didn't even know he was Korean. A lot of people thought he's Chinese guy. He's not Chinese. He's not Japanese. He's Korean. He's Bruce Lee. Hello, but we never really processed that. Like he was a huge star. But American people just put him on a place like, that's that guy who does that stuff.
I think he is Chinese. I'm not actually sure.
No, Bruce Lee is not Chinese.
I'm actually not sure.
No, Bruce Lee is Korean, bro.
People are going to be mad if he's actually Korean. Please Google it.
I think he's Korean. I'm pretty sure. No, he's not Chinese. He's definitely not Chinese. No.
I'm about to be fucked up.
Bruce Lee is what?
Hong Kong.
He's
Bruce
Chinese.
Lee is Chinese?
He's Chinese.
Oh snap! Okay,
all right. That was a sigh of relief for me. That's
okay. I did not know. I thought he was this whole time. I thought he was
his
Korean.
last name is Lee, but
wow.
No, he's not.
Well, slap my face and call me Sally. Look at that. Well, hey guys, this show is edutainment. You know what I'm saying? You're listening and learning. That's the whole thing. Well, I didn't know that. Well, anyway, okay. Well, he's Chinese.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm happy.
Who knew?
As long as they're some shade of Asian.
Right.
Out here, I don't mind.
Right.
I don't mind.
You're like me. Like, well, he was a black guy. Okay, that's close enough. He's part of the camp. Sure.
Yeah.
So musical goals before we run out of time. So
Sure.
what's going to happen with you this next couple of years? Okay, what's your plan?
My plan. So this past year, I've been really in that kind of identity struggle to just get started as an artist, really. But now moving forward, I've collaborated with a couple different producers, a couple different artists, inviting them to my home studio, going to their studios, and that whole experience has been so fun for me that in the next year, I just want to be doing a lot more of that, just collaborating with other people. Yeah, the collective is greater than the individual kind of vibe, where it's like I just want the best of each individual's talent to really shine and to make something that's really great. I mean, my long-term goal for music is just to be able to do it for a living, to be well connected, in a kind of respected tribe of people that, we just make dope ass shit. I don't know if you're cursing on this, but
we did now. So
I said shit.
Like we're gonna go through this whole episode and listen for the one time you curse and then try to beep it. No, you being yourself.
No,
we're an uncensored show. Yeah, you do you.
It's to be able to do that and have stability as well in the next like 3-4 years. If that could come to fruition, that would be my life's dream come true. And then just to be able to continue to do that. Because, even as an artist, to be living this kind of starving artist lifestyle of, barely making ends meet, really struggling and pouring that into your music, that's fine. That's fun. But I just want to feel good about myself in all parts of life. And that could be like in a relationship where it's like, I just want to be able to at least make sure that I'm okay. So that, I'm not just like going through an existential crisis every year. Right. Where it throws things up, like it just breaks things apart, or like being able to invest or like buy a house or like properties, just anything like that. And I don't know when that will come in my timeline, but for now, my I guess like mid-tier goal would be financial stability for myself, and with music, and that's the caveat that makes it extremely. Like a mystery or confusing for me, or a challenge, because for me that's a lot of these different revenues where it's like freelance gig work or like street performing. So right now, because I'm in Vegas, it's a great opportunity for me to put myself out there in that way and just get like immediate engagement and stuff like that. And that's been two things that have been like supplementing my lifestyle as this up and coming artist. But really, with the music, at least, my goal is to, just be in a community where we can constantly pump out stuff that's like high quality, regardless if it's like some WAP shit or like really intellectual. I mean, I want to do both, to be honest.
Right, right.
I don't know how that would work for branding, but we're figuring it out.
It's interesting. So time is never our friend on the show, and we're going to run out in just a few minutes. I got time for one more question. It's my favorite question, actually, to ask any artist. I'd like to ask you, what is your favorite song, Louis, and why, that you've written? Your favorite original song, and why it's your favorite song?
My favorite song. I have two, if that's all right with you.
What am I going to say? Like, now look here, Louis. We only allow one favorite song now. Damn it! No, come on. You doing you, boss.
So one of them is called Pressure, and that's when I first moved to Vegas, and I was living in this content house, and I was feeling very lost, very insecure, and it's not my best vocal performance. It's not like it's gonna blow up the charts, but for me, it was out of my pocket of like what I'm comfortable performing or writing, and it really resonates with me. So anytime I listen to it, it's like, damn, I was really going through like an identity crisis of like, what is the value of being an artist, even like what's the value of my struggle here. So that one, when I listen to it, I feel very proud in that like I was able to step out of my comfort zone. The second song is my most popular song. Is called If I Lose You. I mean, I was going through some heartbreak, and there were times in my career where I would go through a lot of pain, and I wouldn't want to put it in music because I felt very selfish about it. I was like, people would be like, just put it in the song. I'm like, shut up. Like, this is for me. Like, it's not for you. It's not like some weird transactional thing where it's like some Taylor Swift shit where it's like you get in a relationship, you break up, and now you're able to make 10 songs. I mean,
Right.
that can work. And I would say that was that song for me, where it was I was able to let that emotion really flow in its purest form. So those are the two songs. One is very emotional, very true to how I felt, and the other one was very intellectual, in a way that was not as melodic. It was a lot more of that like rapping, kind of like talking to you kind of style. So those are the two that I really like.
Excellent work. So listen, today on the show, it's been Louis Kim. Louis, if we want to follow you, we want to stalk you pleasantly on the internet, not literally sleep under the bushes, but close to that. How do we find you on the www?
You can find me mainly at my Instagram. That's at Louis Young, LewisYoung with 2 G's at the end.
Nice. And I just want to throw in, as a hopefully redeem my own self, that Bolo Young, the fighter that fought Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon, he was Korean. That's all I'm saying.
I
Listen,
wouldn't
man,
know about that.
it's the Ace Michael Show. Thank you guys for watching and staying up on the show. And you know what I say at the end of every show, and I still mean it to this day, guys. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.
Thank you.